welcome to the next vlog. It's my first mobile one. I'm on a train. This is the first class cabins, and I'm sitting in between the two cabins in this really cool embedded bench that's also really velvety and nice. And this is all on the second floor, as you can see from the stairs here. And I have a really lovely view of fields. Well, I did, now it's city. And it's quite misty, and it's still morning, and it's winter, and I think it's just also beautiful. I have fancy toilets here, and everything is French, which is very, very cool for me somehow. And yeah, this is the perfect comfy spot. I can fit both my bags, I can charge my earbuds, and I can film. And because I'm all alone in this space, I don't feel too bad taking my mask off, unless someone comes. Right, I really hope no one checks my ticket, because then I would have to stop the video. And by the way, this is my woolly hat from my time in Kiel, which is a little bit stretched and worn out, but I wear it with pride as a student of Kiel at heart, or of Germany in general. Anyway, two topics for today. Specific little like story, I don't know, some bits and bobs about mindfulness, and then a creative but applied thought process and my tendency to it, what that means for me and for others. Okay, so yeah, I started walking through the train station, realized I have about 15 minutes until the train has to leave. I know where the station is, I know, like my platform, sorry, I know how to get to it, how long it takes, so I can chill now. And first I realized, I really need the bathroom, but I walked past bathrooms and realized, it costs €1. €1, yeah, maybe relatively it's little, but absolutely it seemed like a lot. It seemed to me like it's not worth going to the bathrooms for, when I could tell that I can hold it. And then that started to get me in touch with my body. I was like, oh yeah, okay, we got this. And I started to feel, and I realized, I'm all lopsided because I've got my backpack and my shoulder bag on. And then I had the idea of taking my backpack off on one side, so it's only on one shoulder, and putting my shoulder bag on the other, and then I was perfectly balanced, which feels unstable if you have to walk quickly or run, and looks kind of weird, but I thought it was genius in that moment. And then I started to feel balanced as well. It's just amazing how many feedback loops are going on between our body and our mind and our emotions and all of this. And so I was like, okay, time for body mindfulness. Let's keep going with this. This is doing me so good. Is that how you say in English? It's doing me so good? No, that sounds like something else. doing me well? Being really good for me. And so, yeah, then I realized, okay, well, if I'm not going to go pee, then I don't have to rush. I started walking slower, and reminded me of this Japanese meditation style where you take like 1 or 2 steps per minute and go around a circle in a room. And it's a really interesting experience because you really feel the balance at every point of the motion that the human body takes in order to take a step. And yeah, normally we just feel the landing, some kind of in between, and the next landing. But when you're walking really slowly, you feel every muscle, you feel the lifting of your foot, you feel the slightly moving forward, having to recenter your center of gravity a little bit further forwards, and then switching towards the other foot, holding, still not putting it down, eventually putting it down, shifting center of gravity again. It's really interesting. And so I wasn't going that slow, because I'm in a train station. Another mindfulness observation was, I feel pressured to go quicker when I feel like the person behind me can't get past me. And I realized I'm also very aware of everything going on around me, which I probably learned in England, where people are very aware of their personal bubble and want to be polite and not getting in anyone's way. I mean, this is like the good kind of English, the educated, lovely kind of English, not everyone. And yeah, but so I found a way to not being anyone's way, walk slowly, and then my next automatic impulses were to go get coffee or to go get food. And then I realized, why am I going to get coffee? That's just a habit that is not useful right now, because I'm already really awake. I'm in a kind of slightly nervous state, which also reminded me, okay, rechannel that energy. Don't let it just go into nervous tics, like, I don't know, clenching my teeth or moving my hands and stuff, when I can kind of soak it back in and make it into useful, vital energy for thought, for being awake, for whatever. Just nervous energy feels so useless to me. I'm trying to rechannel that as much as I can, as soon as I notice it. Yeah, so then I thought, okay, no coffee, we don't need that. That's fine. What about food? And I really felt the need to, well, the desire for the taste of food, for the experience, but I realized I wasn't hungry. And I thought, interesting, because I've been eating pretty early every day for a few days now. So I would have expected my body clock to already want food by now. It's quite late into the morning. But then I felt my body again and realized there's this heaviness inside, and this a slight discomfort, almost a slight nausea. This is something a friend also reported this morning, and I realized I also had this yesterday, and maybe even the day before, and it makes perfect sense because we've been eating so much and really fatty, rich stuff that I normally maybe wouldn't eat that much of. A lot of things that are not part of my diet, like a lot of sugars and blah blah blah, gluten, whatever. So I realized, okay, my body is overloaded, it's working really hard right now. And then I remembered, like, yeah, of course, it's like bits and bobs of stuff I've read or listened to over the years about the body and medicine, which is not very clear right now, but I'm gonna take a risk and say that it's something like our kidney cycle is longer than 1 or 2 days, and the liver as well it works at a incredibly hard. It has so much work to do for every meal we take, for every drink we take that is not water, and it produces a buildup of fat when it's working and digesting, and this fat also then needs to be deconstructed and washed away, and it produces bile that needs to be processed somewhere else, and there's all this stuff going on in our digestive system that doesn't just end when you get hungry for the next meal. It goes on for a much longer arc. And so I realized, okay, my body needs a break, let's give it a break. I'm used to fasting anyway, but just having this awareness is gonna make me be more careful over the next couple of days in general, and not just in the moment. Yeah, and then I started to feel really happy, really centered, full of energy, and then I started feeling creative, and then I thought, okay, what can I do now to pass the time usefully? And I started looking for a place where I could film a video, but unfortunately there wasn't a good one, and by the time I thought, well, maybe here is kind of okay, it was already less than 10 minutes until my train left. I thought, okay, there's no point, let's just go get ready so I don't have to break this awesome piece by stressing to get to the platform on time. Yeah. Okay. And then the other topic, which was also triggered by mindfulness on the train, was that my thought process will take almost any impulse and try to turn it into something constructive, or an idea for a project, or that kind of. If you have it, you probably already know what I mean. And I don't want to spend too long explaining it, but just give the example, because it's a double-edged sword. And so, okay, I realized, I walked into the train, and first I didn't see any signs and just thought, this is a really nice train. If all French trains are like this, then we have something to learn from them. And then I realized that the reason why it was so nice where I was is because it's the first class compartment. And then immediately my recent conversations about equality came up, and I thought, kind of sucks that we have classism even in train tickets. People pay double the price just to have these comfy seats. Like, shouldn't this be the standard for everyone if we want to be an inclusive, egalitarian, high-quality society? And then I thought, oh yeah, it probably has to do with the business model. The train companies probably make a lot of money with very little or no effort on these tickets. Yeah, they would require a whole new business model, something like the way that Flix revolutionized transportation with cheap bus tickets and then breaking into rail and reducing the monopolization and having their own cheap train line. But they do everything just to increase access and reduce the price, and the quality is not rising. Then I realized, how important is this to me? Is this something that's really going to change the world? Probably not. There's a lot of equality issues that are a lot more pressing than having comfy train seats. But so I go through this whole process with anything that I notice that is interesting, or I feel like could be meaningful to me, or I feel like could contribute to something or someone somewhere someday. which of course is a lot of mental expenditure. But I'm so grateful to have that trait because it's constantly training me. And if I ever have a groundbreaking idea, it will be because of all this constant training that I'm going through, because that's just the way I work. And I think that's something you can learn if you see the value in this. But here's the other edge of the sword. Of course, be warned, you have to have the corresponding level of energy there. So whether you can create that through habits, nutrition, etc., or you have that naturally, is up to you to determine. But some people just don't, and that's also okay. We all have different metabolisms, we all have a different distribution of energy. Maybe yours is not in your head because you're an amazing athlete, or you're a huge golden heart helping people emotionally, or whatever, you know? So, yeah. It's something I wish more people had, but I also know it's not for everyone. And I also think it's really important to create more spaces for discussion for people who do think like this, so that we can bounce ideas off each other and maybe have sort of idea directories where I could say, I just thought of this, maybe someone else can run with it. Maybe some person reads it and they're an expert in trains and they're passionate about equality and luxury, and this is their thing, you know? So, yeah, exchange and open, building in public, basically, as we call it on Twitter, I think are fantastic things. And paying attention to your thoughts, not just your body. All right, gone over time. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.